The soft girl era, why your greatest business strategy might be rest. Good afternoon. I recently had the honor of sitting down with Kanithea Powell, a visionary thinker and advocate who is reshaping how Black professionals and entrepreneurs understand success, rest, and power. Kanithea's work is nothing short of revolutionary. They are helping high achieving Black women and leaders step out of survival mode and into something far more sacred, something far more sustainable. They are guiding a generation toward what we might call a soft girl era, a reclamation of rest, boundaries, emotional honesty, and joy as strategic business assets. And what Kennethia shared with me during our conversation challenged everything I thought I knew about ambition, resilience, and what it truly means to thrive. Their impact on making the world a better place cannot be overstated. They are not just talking about change, they are creating the blueprint for a new way of being, leading, and building wealth that does not cost us our lives. So today, I want to share those insights with you because what Kanithia revealed is not just important, it is urgent. And it begins with a question that might make some of us uncomfortable. What if the very thing we have been taught to believe makes us strong, the grinding, the overworking, the endless hustle, is actually the thing that is keeping us from building the kind of success that lasts? What if softness, rest, and boundaries are not the opposite of ambition, but the foundation of it? Let me be clear. This is not about giving up. This is not about lowering standards or abandoning excellence. This is about recognizing that the way many Black professionals and entrepreneurs have been conditioned to work, to lead, to survive is unsustainable. And more than that, it is unnecessary. Kanithea Powell introduced me to an idea that stopped me in my tracks. They said that for Black professionals and entrepreneurs, entering a soft girl era is not a retreat from power. It is a strategic business decision. It is about designing a life and a career where emotional safety, rest, and nervous system regulation are not luxuries you earn after success. They are the very tools that create clarity, creativity, and leadership capacity. In other words, softness is not what you do when the work is done. Softness is how you do the work in a way that does not destroy you. Now, let me tell you why this matters so much, especially for Black women, Black leaders, and Black entrepreneurs. Because the data, the stories, and the lived experiences all point to the same truth. Black professionals, particularly Black women, are burning out at alarming rates. They are leading teams, raising families, holding down entire communities, and doing it all while navigating systemic racism, microaggressions, and the relentless pressure to be twice as good to get half as far. And somewhere along the way, rest became a luxury, boundaries became selfish, and softness became weakness. But Kanithea Powell is saying something different. They are saying that if you stop proving your strength for just one season, if you gave yourself permission to design your business, your career, your life around rest and support instead of relentless output, you would not lose your edge. You would sharpen it. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a woman who spent years in the high pressure world of public relations, demanding clients, impossible deadlines, the constant performance of being polished, available, and indispensable. She knew what burnout looked like. She felt it in her bones. But she also saw a gap in the market, a way to serve Black women that no one else was doing. So she took a leap. She launched a subscription box company that would transform how Black women discover and experience natural hair products. Her name is Myleik Teal, and she built Curlbox into a multi-million dollar business. But here's what makes her story so powerful. She did not do it by grinding herself into the ground. She did not sacrifice her mental health, her boundaries, or her peace to build her empire. Instead, she created systems and teams so that the business did not rely on her constant presence. She publicly prioritized boundaries and emotional health. She talked openly about therapy, about saying no, about curating what she gave her energy to. She modeled a softer, more sustainable path for Black women entrepreneurs. And you know what happened? Curlbox became one of the most recognizable Black owned subscription brands in beauty. Myleik built a loyal community that resonated not just with the product, but with her message about holistic success, rest, and personal evolution. She proved that a Black woman led company can scale while its founder practices boundaries and softness. As her company grew, she realized something crucial. She could keep grinding, or she could step into a softer rhythm of leadership, one that felt good, not just looked successful. She chose softness, and it worked. Now, some of you might be thinking, that is great for her, but I do not have a team. I do not have the resources to step back. I am the only one holding this together. And that is exactly the point Kanithea Powell wants us to reconsider. Because the belief that you have to heal or hustle in isolation is one of the most dangerous lies we have been sold. Let me tell you about another woman, a Black woman serial entrepreneur who understood firsthand how isolating and exhausting it can be to seek funding and validation in traditional systems. She knew what it felt like to pitch to investors who did not see her brilliance. She knew what it felt like to carry the weight of building a business alone. Instead of trying to conform to those systems, she decided to create something different. Her name is Shelley Bell, and she founded Black Girl Ventures. Black Girl Ventures is a nonprofit that provides pitch competitions, funding, and community support for Black and Brown women entrepreneurs. But what makes it revolutionary is this: it does not force Black women founders to go it alone. It centers community, shared resources, and emotional support. It creates community based pitch competitions where peers, not just investors, vote with small dollar contributions, democratizing access to capital and decreasing gatekeeping pressure. It provides mentorship, storytelling spaces, and safe community that acknowledges the emotional reality of being a Black woman founder and offers support instead of judgment. And the outcomes? Black Girl Ventures has funded and supported hundreds of Black and Brown women owned businesses across the United States, giving them both capital and community. Many featured founders report increased confidence, revenue, and access to new networks, allowing them to scale without leaning solely on individual overwork. The organization has drawn national media attention as a model for reimagining how to support Black women entrepreneurs holistically. The ethos of Black Girl Ventures is inherently soft: collective care, community centered funding, affirming spaces where Black women do not have to perform hyper resilience to be seen as investable. This is what Kanithea Powell means when they say that softness can be a strategy, not a sacrifice. You do not have to heal or hustle in isolation. Community, mentorship, and collaboration are core to a sustainable soft girl era. Black professionals and entrepreneurs can build what Kanithea calls soft infrastructure: therapists, coaches, peer circles, co founders, and teams that allow them to delegate, rest, and regulate while still growing their income and impact. Isolation is often a symptom of overperforming. Softness often begins when we allow ourselves to be supported. But here's where it gets even more powerful, because this is not just about personal well being, this is about redefining success on your own terms as an act of liberation. Let me introduce you to Dr. Thema Bryant, a Black woman psychologist, a pastor, a trauma survivor, a former president of the American Psychological Association. She has spent her career centering trauma, healing, and liberation for Black communities, especially around overwork, racial trauma, and emotional survival in professional spaces. Dr. Bryant's work provides research informed backing for a soft girl era approach among Black professionals. Her scholarship and public work emphasize trauma informed care, rest, joy, and spiritual practice as essential to mental health, not luxuries. She advocates for therapy, community care, and boundary setting as necessary for Black professionals and leaders to thrive in oppressive systems. As president of the American Psychological Association, she helped bring racial justice, mental health equity, and holistic well being to the forefront of mainstream psychological discourse. Her work has empowered many Black professionals to seek therapy, reduce self blame, and reconsider how they relate to work, success, and self worth. She has become a trusted voice linking mental health, spirituality, and liberation, directly challenging the equation of nonstop grinding with value. Her leadership at the APA came at a time of heightened racial tension and burnout among Black professionals, especially during the pandemic and ongoing racial violence. She consistently speaks to Black audiences about reclaiming rest, joy, softness, and emotional honesty as acts of resistance and healing, especially in professional and entrepreneurial spaces where they are often discouraged. What Dr. Bryan offers is research backed validation that Black professionals and entrepreneurs need and deserve rest, emotional safety, and healing, core tenets of a soft girl era. She actively shifts the narrative from endless resilience to holistic thriving, giving Black leaders language and tools to prioritize mental health without guilt. So let me bring this all together. Because what Kanithea Powell is inviting us to do is not small, it is not simple, but it is necessary. They are inviting us to see that softness can be a strategy, not a sacrifice. Embracing rest, emotional honesty, boundaries, and support systems is not stepping away from excellence. It is how you sustain excellence without burning out your body, mind, or spirit. Your soft girl era can be thoughtfully designed as part of your business and career strategy, from the way you schedule your time to the services you offer and the clients you accept. They are inviting us to see that you do not have to heal or hustle in isolation. You can build soft infrastructure. You can create systems that allow you to delegate, rest, and regulate while still growing your income and impact. And they are inviting us to see that redefining success on your own terms is an act of liberation. Instead of measuring success only by revenue, titles, or constant grind, you can define success to include feeling safe in your body, present with your family, spiritually grounded, and emotionally nourished while running profitable ventures or thriving in leadership. That redefinition is especially powerful for Black professionals who have been socialized to equate worth with overwork. A soft girl era invites you to design a life and career that honors your humanity as much as your hustle. Now, I know some of you are sitting here thinking, "See, this sounds beautiful, but how do I actually do this? How do I step into softness when the bills are due, when the team is counting on me, when the world is watching?" And that is the question Kanithea Powell wants you to sit with. If you stop proving your strength for just one season, what would you design differently in your life, career, or business to make room for softness, safety, and support? And what is one concrete change you are willing to make this week to honor that vision? Maybe it is setting a boundary at work. Maybe it is changing a business policy to protect your time. Maybe it is scheduling therapy or coaching. Maybe it is saying no to a misaligned opportunity. Whatever it is, pick one tangible action and commit to it as your first soft girl era business move. Because here's the truth that I need you to hear today. The world does not need more burned out Black leaders. The world does not need more brilliant Black entrepreneurs running on empty. The world needs you whole. The world needs you rested. The world needs you soft. And softness, as Kanithea Powell so beautifully reminded me, is not the opposite of power. It is the foundation of it. So I am asking you today, will you choose softness? Will you choose rest? Will you choose to build a life and a business that does not cost you your peace, your health, or your joy? Because the revolution we need is not louder, it is not faster, it is not harder. The revolution we need is softer, and it starts with you. Thank you